Remember, knowledge, it ain't free. You gotta pay attention.
Hey, sure bet coffee. Put that giddy up in your cup. That giddy up in your cup. Sure bet coffee.
The legend himself, Frankie Dettori. Ciao, Frankie. Tutto a posto.
Tutto a posto. Yes, that's a good start. So you haven't lost your Italian.
You're watching Past the Wire TV, presented by Am Wager.
Tracking trips at Past the Wire. There is no better time than now to join and ride with this clan. We'll be your second set of expert trained eyes. We ain't gonna buy you a fish. Sure, we'll give you some, but more importantly, we'll show you how to fish and make you a better. CAWs, sharks in the water, no problem. We'll go against anybody, and we have the track record to prove it. Big days, big pools, and select days all year long. We'll outplay them all. Looking for an ace? You're in the right place. Want to find that diamond? Be with us. Want to know more? Just ask a member or visit us at pastthewire.com and check out the tracking trips page. Nobody does it better.
Okay, good morning. We're here past the wire with the globe traveling Ramiro Restrepo, a friend of the past the wire team. Ramiro, thank you for making time for us. How are you?
All is good, Eddie. It's good night for me. It's 7 o'clock in Dubai. I'm here in my apartment, and been on the road since just before Thanksgiving, and it's been a fruitful couple months. So here we are.
So, let's talk about that. You left around Thanksgiving, and you've been to, I think, Japan. You're now in Dubai. You've obviously gone to some of the sales. Tell us about some of the exciting horses that you've purchased, and maybe some of the exciting races that you've participated and won.
Sure, we had a really nice yearling Siuni filly, who's one of the leading sires over in France. We bought her as a yearling, August 2023, for a good chunk of change for JR Ranch, who's our biggest client, my biggest client and partner at the moment. She debuted this December over 2-year-old year in Chantilly and won first time out pretty impressively. So that was a great thing to be a part of. Went to the winter mixed sales over in Arcana and Tattersalls, and didn't get anything done, but a lot of networking. Tried on a couple foals and a couple mares, but things didn't work out. The market's just strong right now overall. If as a participant of the global scale, for as many things are going on in the world, horse racing seems to be in a bubble, and you're seeing a lot of strong participation at the top, and they continued into the winter. Came over to the Gulf region where I am now. I've been in Bahrain, went over there for some of their turf series races, where two of my partners' horses ran second in two series races on the same night. We went to Saudi Arabia for their King's Cup evening, which was pretty great. A horse that I purchased won the King's Cup a couple of years ago in 2021. So it was nice to get a precursor of the upcoming Saudi Cup. Saw Rattle and Roll win. Defunded was out there, winning a couple days before that. So nice to see some American horses, popping up in Saudi. I'm in Dubai now. I've been to quite many of their race meets this year, seeing the horses that are racing, and we're trying to put together a group of American and Emirati partners together to buy some 2-year-olds at the upcoming sale and race in the upcoming 2025-2026 Dubai Carnival. So it's pretty cool just to be participating on an international level. I've been fortunate to do business in 12 countries, and my imagination doesn't really hold any bounds. So just doing my best to try to keep playing in the market and see what we could do. Had a really nice 3-year-old, newly turned 3-year-old Justify Philly Breaker Maiden, second time out at Gulfstream. Jalila, very excited about her. And Mutia, who's now a 4-year-old Matoli Philly, really big pedigree. She came back and won an allowance at Tampa, and hopefully we'll be looking for a stake up there at Tampa in the next week or two. So just to see the barn is running. I don't train them and I don't ride them, so I could be out here while Gustavo, junior and senior, holds down the fort. So
sure. Well, look,
everybody's in capable hands.
You were basically, in a sense, born into the horse racing business. Your dad has been involved for many years, and maybe even some
mom's
uncles.
side, mom's side.
Oh, your mom's side.
Yeah, her uncles and everything. Yeah.
So let's talk about, I'm sure you get asked about it all the time. Mage, you bought her at, I believe, Timonium in Maryland at the sales there at a fairly reasonable price for a Kentucky Derby winner. And how has that kind of changed your life? I mean, you've been a bloodstock agent for many years. I think you and I first met like maybe 15 years ago at Gulfstream and Saratoga. So how has Mage maybe changed your life a little bit?
Sure. I mean, 15 years ago, I was a bloodstock agent. Like if you're saying you're a singer and you're performing at Starbucks on the weekends. So to use that word is a little strong, but I started out buying horses for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. So as I've been able to climb up the buying power ladder, I definitely respect purchase price, and I respect those who partner up with you and put up the money to purchase more expensive horses. You have to be quite disciplined when you're working with a higher budget value, just because you have a lot of people who put their faith in you, and that all goes down when you do your due diligence at the sale. You have to stay kind of within a certain range on certain horses, and just maintain your head, because you can get quite excited when you have a little more firepower. But definitely Mage has kicked open the door for a lot of opportunities and given a lot of people the confidence to further want to either partner up with me or hire me for my bloodstock services. And I've been fortunate to meet some great quality people that have come together and supported me. Just before the Derby, Mage's crop of horses, he was part of a group that we bought as yearlings, and Mage was at the 2-year-old sale. So those guys that stuck with me from then up until now, it's been 2 more buying cycles have gone through since Mage. And I'd be amiss if I didn't mention JR Ranch, Jose Aguirre, and the fellows at High Step Racing, Randy, Joe, and Kevin, and Jimbo, and the rest of the guys. I mean, the way that they've supported me has been magical, because you get to go around the world looking at racehorses and buying what you love, and trying to do your best on the racetrack. So what Mage did for us is unbelievable. If I ever have a son, I got to name him Mage Restrepo.
So where is Mage now, and how is he doing?
Mage is great. He's at Airdrie Stud, the farm of the governor, Breton Jones, now run by his son Brett Jones. Obviously, Complexity's there, Upstart's there, Cairo Prince is there. So some exciting, horses at that farm. Excuse me. Mage had 177 girlfriends last year. So he's
Had a
doing
good year.
okay.
Had a good year.
He had a
Did
good year, and
did
hoping
you
for a
did you
repeat.
keep any of the breeding rights?
Yeah, we have some rights. We all kept a couple rights. All the partners did, and we bred mares to him last year, and we were breeding some more this year, and buying a couple more, black type mares to support him. Um, he looks like the way he's grown. When we bought him, he was probably 15.3, and now he's about 16 and 3/4. So it's amazing how these things grow. And how filled out and strong he is. He's a bigger version of Curlin and Good Magic. When you go down and see him in person, it's quite impressive to see, the man that he's become. And, I have all the faith that he's going to make it as a sire, and, just in due time.
All right. Well, we got the Holy Bull coming up. You got your ferocious hat on. How is Ferocious doing? I mean, the Holy Bull is shaped up to be a pretty nice race, especially when you have Guns Loaded in there amongst others. Talk to us about Ferocious and what are you expecting out of the race?
Sure, Ferocious was a colt that we bought at the 2-year-old sale last year. He was a standout for what we felt what that catalog had, and we put together a great group of guys to buy him. When you purchase a horse for $1.3 million, Eddie, he's no longer, kind of laying in the weeds or flying under the radar. The eyeballs are just that much more primed, whether you're in the industry as a fellow agent or as an owner, or whether you're a horse player or just an analyst. That price, that purchase price just screams at you and adds some pressure to the team, but the horse doesn't know how much he costs. You know what I mean? So he goes about his day, but it kind of holds him to a little higher standard in people's eyes. It's always, and I think this happens in any sport. When you're the first round pick, first overall, quarterback, point guard, you name it, you're expected to deliver from the get-go at sometimes an unreasonable expectation. I mean, even Peyton Manning, who was first overall, went 0-16 or 1-15 his first year. So, the pressure's on, but he answered the bell first time out, and I think it was just it was so impressive, but it was just a testament to his natural physical ability, how he overwhelmed that field. But mentally, there was a lot. He was a lot further behind mentally than what probably the general public expected after seeing that kind of performance.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that physically he's there, mentally needs to grow a little bit more. So
yeah.
How is he mentally now compared to the end of last year?
Sure. Look, race to race, every rider from the maiden. If you see Javi in the maiden, his ears are not pinned back or pricked forward. They're literally pointed, one towards the grandstand and one towards the infield jumbotron. He's kind of looking around with his antennas. He idled in the hopeful, and it wasn't until he saw Chance McPatrick that he re-engaged and looking like he was going to finish last and kind of re-rallied. And same thing, he hooked Dapper Moon after getting into a little bit of trouble and kind of just hung with him all the way around the Breeders' Futurity and kind of powered away from that rival. But East Avenue got away. And in the Juvenile, same deal. Like, he was sitting 4th, 5th, goes back to dead last on the turn. Between the 8th and the quarter, he looks like he's done. He was dead last, and then he re-rallies and finishes 5th. He's running in pieces, and he comes back after the races like a kid, like, oh, hey, we just we're out here playing around. He's never come back like blowing, like if he gave you his belly. He gave you his life. He laid it all down. So there's a lot more to get there. Every rider's recommended blinkers. Even after the maiden, but we didn't want to make a big swing change per se in the middle of such a tightly run schedule, because it was maiden grade 1, grade 1, grade 1, and we didn't want to just in the middle of all this say here's blinkers and not give him a period of time to adjust to the equipment change. On an older horse, you know, maybe things are different, but on a baby, on a baby that's a little inexperienced like him, we wanted to take our time, take this winter to do that, and I think he's responded favorably from the videos, the pictures, the updates, and the calls that I've had with Gustavo over the last 90 days. He's taken positively to the blinkers, and hopefully that's what gets him to run a complete race, because the physical gifts are there. Anyone who sees him physically, you know, he's like that 6'4" quarterback. I mean, who won't notice him? You can notice him at the 2-year-old sale, and you notice him in the paddock. He's a beautiful animal. His workout times are fast, and what you want to do is for that to translate in the afternoon, right? Run a complete race, and you know, hopefully between this and the equipment change, the time over the winter and the equipment change, there'll be that first positive foot forward.
Well, it looks like you gave him a little bit of time off after the Breeders' Cup, and then after the first work towards the end of the year, like a little 2.5-week break before his next work. Was that just planned to give him time between the first work and the second work of coming back after the Breeders' Cup?
So,
or was it weather related, maybe?
No, so he actually had a work that was not taken into account in the form. He had a 3/8 work first, then he had a second 3/8 work. Then he missed the work with a 99.999 fever. So it wasn't even, but he still went to the track. He just didn't breeze that day. He just had a strong gallop. So it's not like he was laid up or anything. It was just, let's just not, kick it into high gear and give him an easier week. The following week, he did come back with his breeze. And that's his last two breezes have been galloping out 3/4 and up to a mile even on the last one. So favorably with blinkers and Javi Castellano up both times that, we're in the process of trying to make it to the Kentucky Derby. I think, and there's a lot of people who have many opinions on that, but that's what our goal is, as long as the horse will take us there. We're looking at it from a strategic point of view when you're looking at the point system, because that's what gets you in. The last 2 years, the baseline's about a 40, 45. We already got 8. And after going through the Triple Crown experience with Mage and seeing the grind that can take on a horse as you're putting together these prep races and then the Triple Crown races themselves, going back-to-back Derby Preakness, etc., knowing how backloaded that becomes, we want to space out these early starts. So the 8 weeks between Holy Bull and Florida Derby, and then 5 weeks from Florida Derby to Kentucky Derby makes more sense for us. With the 8 points, he's already ahead of where Mage was after the Fountain of Youth with 10 at this juncture in the year. So right now we're looking at how do we collect the points to get the horse to peak for the Kentucky Derby. It's a strategic thing. That's not to say the horse is not capable of winning on Saturday. It's what everybody's in town for, except for myself, all the partners. We really believe he can put an effort to win 100%. But we know there's more in the tank. We knew that with Mage after the Fountain of Youth and after the Florida Derby. We knew that there was more for him to give, and you can train him harder. There was a bottom to get to. There was a higher ceiling in there. And we know that what it takes to get a horse to go the 1.25 miles at the first Saturday in May. And there's no need at this moment in time to have them breathing fire with smoke come out of their ears and fire bolts from their nose right now at the beginning of February. You have them fit, you have them ready to run this race, but there's more to come.
All right, so we missed you, Pegasus, this weekend. We're going to miss you this weekend. When are we going to see Ramiro back in the South Florida, be it a Gulfstream or a Tampa? When will we see you next?
I'll be back right before Fountain of Youth. I'm going from here. I'm going to Saudi Arabia for the Saudi Cup and the undercard races there. And then I'll be in France, where our Uni filly is going to run again in an allowance race. So then I'll be back in time for the Fountain of Youth. That's the game plan. I'll be back in the States for March 1st.
All right, great. Well, we look forward to having you back here and rooting you and your team on. John would like me to ask you a question regarding is it true that there's like a warehouse or a piece of land out there in Dubai where they have these top flight cars like for the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis and the Bentleys, where maybe you could pick one out for us and we'll get it. We'll take care of all the shipping and bring it back home to us here.
As long as Jonathan is paying, I can be his agent for the cars, no problem.
Well, yeah. I'll let you two discuss that. Those cars are a little bit out of my price range, but maybe not yours and his.
No, it's interesting to see here all those unique extras out here, but they do exist. It's pretty impressive when you see the folks in the Middle East with their car collections and some of their toys. It's impressive, man.
Is it true that some of them are really nickel plated that you've seen?
I've seen some more that I've been privy to, just like some cool collector cars, like some old one-of-one models, like the James Dean type Ferraris and just, interesting concept cars and things like that. And but there's just so much, wealth in this region that the way that they express their interests is unique, man. So there's a lot to see out here. It's pretty special, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll be up at Gulfstream on Saturday rooting Ferocious and your team on. Maybe you can tell one of your partners to give me one of those nice little lids you got on there.
Yeah, man. This is from the Breeders' Cup. You gotta hit a Gustavo until I get back. I'll get you when I'm back for sure.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, Ramiro, we at Past the Wire really appreciate you taking time off. I know it's a little bit later there than it is here, so enjoy your travels, safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you Fountain of Youth weekend. And good luck, and good luck at the Holy Bull.
Thank you so much. Say hello to John and everybody at Past the Wire. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Ramiro, take care.
Take care, bro.
Hold on.
Cyberknife was a very talented horse from day one. Fast horse, able to carry it around 2 turns. Looks a tremendous amount like Gunrunner, same ability and talent. Holds the track record in the Haskell. He won it in impressive fashion, beating a very good group of horses.
His name is Cyberknife!
Excited about him passing on his durability, his soundness, and his talent. He could definitely be a breed-shaping stallion.
World of Kingdom Nutrition, your #1 source for healthy horses and fast finishes. Make sure your horses stay strong and healthy with the balanced mineral profile of Healthy Bones. This veterinarian recommended supplement helps foals, weanlings, and yearlings grow and develop. Healthy Bones also helps speed up recovery so your horses stay in training longer and race more often. Our 100% all-natural Appetite supplement helps relieve sensitive stomachs so that your horses can eat up and get faster on the track. Kingdom Nutrition. We stand by our products with a 100% money-back guarantee. Call Justin today because Kingdom Nutrition makes healthy horses and fast finishes. Welcome to Past the Wire TV, your #1 source for horse racing news and interviews, handicapping analysis, betting insights, and more. Past the Wire TV covers the biggest races at the best tracks.
Garnet and Luis Saez to win the Belmonte Stakes at Saratoga. The Grey Wizard is at absolutely flying. Champagne won. The Grey Wizard. Oh, it's very close. Leave it to the judge.
Like, share, and subscribe to Pass the Wire TV. Nobody does it better.
Nobody does it better.